In this lesson, we're going to be looking at subtracting decimals, and we're going to review place values first, then we're going to look at subtracting decimals and whole numbers, and we're going to also look at subtracting decimal numbers from one another. So we're going to look at just reviewing place value. If you need some more help on this, there's a video that will cover place value in depth. Now, what we're going to see is we're going to look at place value. We're going to focusing on the digits before the decimal and the digits after the decimal. What happens? So you have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's what we're going to focus on here. So 8 is considered, we call it the ones. 7 is considered tens. 6 is considered 100s. 5 is considered to be in the thousands place, and 4 is considered to be in the 10,000s place. So what this means here is the value of 4 here is 40,000. 5 here is 5,000. 6 here is 600. 7 here is 70. And then 8 is just 8. If you add this up together, you arrive at this. Now, when we deal with the decimal, anything after the decimal, we now start having fractions. So this 0 here is in the 10th place. This is the 100th place. This is in the 1000th place. And then 2 here is in the 10,000th place. So what this means here is we have 0 over 10. 3 becomes 3 over 100. 9 becomes 9 over 1000. And 2 becomes 2 over 10,000. So when you add this up together, you should get this. So let's change that to decimal. This is 0. This is 0.03. This is 0.009. This is 0.0002. So that's how you deal with this. Now let's get to subtracting decimals. We're looking at subtracting decimal numbers from, we're dealing with subtracting decimals and whole numbers. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at arranging them vertically, taking note of the place value. So you can see that 16 is in the ones place, just like 5, and then 1 right here. And then we just put a decimal here, and then we replace, we have zeros for the decimal places. So now we subtract. 4 minus 0 is 4. 3 minus 0 is 3. Now 5 minus 6, not doable. So we're going to come over here. It's going to be 1, and we bring the 1 over here. So 15 minus 6, that's going to be 9. Don't forget the decimal place here. 1 minus 1 is 0. And then 1 minus, so we can put a 0 here. 1 minus 0 is 1. Let's look at another example. 385.74, and then we're going to have a 123 right under the 385. So put a 0 after it. 4 minus 0, that's 4. 7 minus 0 gives you a 7. 5 minus 3, you have a 2. 8 minus 2, you have a 6. 3 minus 1, you have a 2. And so that's how you deal with your solution. Now, let's look at this example. So we have 985, and then we have 147. So 147.362. So we put a subtraction here. Now we are going to have 0, 0, 0, and then we start our subtraction. 0 minus 2, we can do that. So we're going to have to borrow from here. We don't have enough here. Going to have to borrow from here. We don't have enough here. Now we can borrow from this, and we get a 4 right here. And so that becomes, we get a 1 here, we get a 9 here, and then we get a 9 here. And so 10 minus 2 is 8, 9 minus 6 is 3, 9 minus 3 is 6, 4 minus 7, we cannot do that, so we're going to borrow from here, and then now we have 14, minus 7, we have a 7, 7 minus 4, we have a 3, 9 minus 1, we have a 8, 837.638. So now we're looking at subtracting decimals. So we're going to follow the method where we write the first number, and we have to arrange the decimals together so that they align. So after the decimal we have a 2, we have a 5, before it we have a 0, so we subtract. 14 minus 5, 4 minus 5 cannot happen, so we borrow from here, we have a 4 here, and now we have a 14. 14 minus 5, 9, 4 minus 2, 2, 3 minus 0, 3, and then we can put a 0 here, 9 minus 0, 9. Same method here, 87.90 minus, so we put a decimal point there. After the decimal we have 8, 5, and 7. Before the decimal we have 1, so I'm going to put a 0 here, put a 0 here. So 0 minus 7, not doable, so we try to borrow from here, not doable. So we borrow from here, this becomes 8. So this will be 10, but we're already borrowing 1 from here, so it's going to be 9, and we give that 1 over here. So 10 minus 7, 3, 9 minus 5, 4, 8 minus 8, 0, 7 minus 1, 6, 8 minus 0, 8. So that's what we have here. And now we have these to solve. So first of all, what we're going to do is I'm going to go from the left to the right. So I'm going to subtract this 652.87. We're going to do that minus 587.34. Let's do that first. 652.87. We have our decimal point here. So we have a 3, 4, and before that we have a 5, 8, 7. So let's subtract. 7 minus 4, we have a 3. 8 minus 3, we have a 5. And then 2 minus 7, we can't do that. So we go here, 5 minus 1, 4. So we got a 12 here. 12 minus 7, 5. 4 minus 8, we can't do that. So we're going to borrow from here. And this becomes 5, and then we have 14. 14 minus 8, 6. 5 minus 5, 0. So we have 65.53. Now we subtract. We put a decimal point here. 1, 2, 5, and then we have a 9. So we'll put a 0 to cover up everything else. 0 minus 5, not doable. So we come over here. We have 2. 10 minus 5 is 5. 2 minus 2, we have a 0. 5 minus 1, we have a 4. 5 minus 9, not doable, so we come to 6. We take 1 away from that, and it becomes a 10. 15 minus 9, 6. 5 minus 0, 5. So this is the solution of that problem. And this is really how you subtract decimals.